Welcome to Bloody Chapter, where every heartbeat hides a story. If you love the shadows, the secrets, and the screams that echo after midnight, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next nightmare. Tonight's story is one I swore never to tell. The Ghost Between Us. Part 1, The Return. I always thought the past was something you could outrun. Change your number. Move to another city. Forget the smell of blood in the rain. But the past isn't a thing, it's a person. And sometimes, it comes knocking. 3 months ago, I moved back to my hometown of Ravens Hollow, a quiet coastal town that never seemed to see sunlight. The air always smelled of salt and rust, and the gulls screamed like they knew something we didn't. I told myself I was here for work, freelance photography, landscapes, moody skies, but deep down, I knew I was here for him. Ethan Vale. The boy who once made me believe in forever. The same boy who disappeared 5 years ago, the night our best friend Lila Monroe was found dead in the woods behind the Vale estate. They said it was suicide. But I remember the look on Ethan's face that night. Pale, trembling, his shirt stained with something darker than tears. He whispered one thing before vanishing. "She's not gone, Aria. She's waiting." My name is Aria Cole, and this is how I learned that love can survive death and kill everything it touches. The house on Hollow Hill. The first thing I did when I came back was photograph the old Vale mansion. It sat on the edge of town, a skeleton of glass and ivy, windows clouded with decades of grief. Locals said it was haunted. They weren't wrong. As I set up my camera, a wind rose from nowhere, cold, deliberate. The trees whispered my name. Then, through the cracked front door, I saw movement. A figure. Tall. Still. Watching. "Ethan." I called out, my voice barely a breath. No answer. Only a soft knock, 3 times, from inside the walls. I told myself it was the wind. I always do that, right before things get worse. That night, while editing photos in my small rented apartment above the cafe, I noticed something in one of the shots. Behind the shattered window of the mansion stood Lila. Pale, smiling, and staring directly at me. The text message. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Unknown. "You shouldn't have come back, Aria." Unknown. "He's not the same anymore." I froze. The contact photo was empty, but the number was local. And then, a third message. Unknown. "She's with him again." I didn't sleep that night. I just watched the sea mist crawl over the streetlights, wondering if ghosts could send texts. The meeting. The next morning, the cafe bell jingled, and there he was, Ethan Vale. Older, thinner, but still heartbreak in human form. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Aria," he said softly, "you shouldn't have come back." "Funny," I said, forcing a laugh. "Someone texted me the same thing." He looked down, hands trembling. "You got her message." Her. He meant Lila. "Ethan," I whispered, "she's dead." He shook his head slowly. "Not exactly." And just like that, I knew I wasn't leaving Ravens Hollow alive. Lila's return. That night, I dreamt of the woods. Of the night Lila died. Her laughter echoed through the trees, bright, cruel, and broken. When I turned, she was there. Her dress was soaked, her hair clinging to her face like black vines. "Did you miss me, Aria?" she whispered. Her voice was both inside and outside my head. When I woke, there was dirt under my nails and a trail of muddy footprints leading to my bed. The smell of lake water clung to my sheets. At 3 a.m., Ethan called. "Meet me at the old pier," he said. "Don't bring your camera." The pier. The fog was thick enough to drown in. Ethan stood near the edge, his reflection rippling on the black water. "She wants me back," he said. "She says she'll stop if I come with her." "Ethan, she's gone," I pleaded. "Whatever you're seeing, it's guilt. Trauma, He looked at me, eyes wet and wild. Then why does she bleed when I touch her? I took a step back. Somewhere in the fog, a woman laughed, the same sound from my dream. Then, faintly, I saw her silhouette on the water's surface, walking toward us. Part 2, The Ghost's Touch. The figure on the water looked like Lila. But she wasn't floating, she was walking, the dark surface rippling beneath her bare feet as though it recognized her. Her hair hung in dripping ropes, and her white dress shimmered with something too dark to be light. Ethan whispered, "She found me again." I took a step back, the old wooden pier groaning beneath us. "Ethan, we have to leave." He didn't move. His eyes were locked on her as though hypnotized. Lila's voice rolled through the fog like wind through glass. "You promised, Ethan. You said you'd never leave me." My breath caught. Her tone wasn't angry, it was hurt, heartbreak made flesh. Ethan whispered, "I didn't mean to. You were gone." "Gone?" she hissed, her face twisting. "I waited for you in the dark." The water around her boiled. Then, she was gone, snatched into the mist as though swallowed by the sea itself. Ethan collapsed, gasping. "She won't stop," he said. "Not until one of us goes with her." The investigation. The next morning, I went to the police. Detective Mara Hayes was still in charge of the Monroe case, the one they ruled as suicide. She looked older now, tired, like the town had eaten her alive too. "Ethan Vale's back," I told her. Her pen froze mid-note. "And you've seen him?" "Yes. And I think Lila is too." She gave me that look, the one people reserve for those who've gone off the rails. "Aria, Lila Monroe has been dead 5 years. We have DNA, autopsy, the works." "I saw her," I insisted. "In my photo. At the pier. She spoke to me." Mara sighed. "You need rest, not ghosts. But if Ethan's back, I'll make a note." Her tone said she'd file it away somewhere that didn't matter. The voice in the camera. Back at my apartment, I replayed the audio file from the pier. Just the sound of waves, footsteps, and then something else. A whisper. "He belongs to me, Aria." I dropped my headphones. The whisper came again, louder this time, from behind me. I turned. Nothing there. Only my camera, still pointed toward the window. When I looked through the viewfinder, Lila was standing in the street below, staring up at my window, smiling. The second death. 2 nights later, I heard screaming outside the cafe. People gathered near the alley behind it. Someone was lying in the rain. It was Jared, the cafe's owner, and Ethan's cousin. His throat was torn open, eyes wide with terror. But there was no blood on the ground. It was as if whatever did it took everything inside him. The cops said it was an animal. But animals don't carve hearts into the walls. On the brick behind Jared's body, written in dripping red, were 3 words. "He chose you." Ethan's confession. I found Ethan at his apartment, sitting in the dark. His hands were covered in scratches. He didn't even look surprised when I walked in. "She killed him," he said. "Jared tried to stop me from seeing you. She thought he was you." My skin went cold. "You're saying Lila did this?" "She's not just a ghost," he said, voice breaking. "She's something worse. She needs blood to stay near us. The more she kills, the stronger she gets." I stared at him. "Why me? Why us?" "You met my eyes. Because she loved you too." The love triangle. It didn't make sense. Lila and I had been best friends since childhood. We shared everything. Until Ethan. Back then, I thought she was happy for me. But there were things I ignored. The way she'd linger too long when we kissed. The way her eyes would darken when he touched me. I thought it was envy. But maybe it was love. And maybe love, when twisted by death, becomes something else entirely. That night, Ethan and I stayed together for safety. We locked the doors. turned off the lights. But around 3 a.m., the temperature dropped. The glass on the window frosted over from the inside, and through it, 3 words appeared. I see you. The possession. Ethan jolted awake, gasping. His eyes were pitch black. Ethan. I whispered. He smiled, but it wasn't his smile. It was hers. Did you think you could take him from me? The voice hissed, echoing through his throat. You never knew what he whispered to me in the dark. I backed away. Lila, please. He said he'd die for me. So why should you get to live? Ethan's hand shot forward, wrapping around my neck. But as his grip tightened, tears spilled from his eyes, his real self fighting back. Run, he choked. Before she. Then he screamed, a sound so raw it didn't seem human. The lights exploded, plunging the room into darkness. The ritual. When I came to, Ethan was gone. On the floor, carved into the wood, was a circle of salt and blood. And at its center, a photograph of the 3 of us. Me, Ethan, Lila. The edges burned, faces half missing. On the back, written in smudged ink, meet me where it ended. The woods. I packed my camera, flashlight, and a small silver cross I'd bought years ago for no reason I could remember. I think, somehow, I always knew this would happen. The woods. The forest hadn't changed, still silent, still wet with fog and memories. As I walked deeper, I heard a whisper in the trees. His mine. His ours. You should have drowned too. The path opened into the clearing where we'd found her body. The old rope swing still hung from the branch, swaying in a wind that wasn't there. Then, I saw Ethan, standing beneath it, shirt soaked in blood. She wants me to finish it, he said. To join her. I raised the cross. You don't have to listen to her. He looked up, eyes hollow. She's inside me, Aria. And she won't stop until she has both of us. The final chapter. The clearing looked smaller than I remembered, but the air was heavier, like the forest itself was holding its breath. Ethan stood beneath the old rope swing, rain glinting on his skin. His lips moved, but it wasn't his voice. You took him from me. Lila's voice drifted from his mouth. You promised, Ethan. You said you'd stay. Ethan shook his head hard, trying to fight her. Lila, please, it wasn't supposed to end like that. I stepped closer, the cross trembling in my hand. Lila, if you can hear me, whatever happened that night, let it go. The wind hissed. The rope creaked. And suddenly, the memory I'd buried for 5 years slammed back into my mind. What really happened? It wasn't a suicide. That night, after too many drinks and too many jealous words, Lila had found Ethan and me together. She'd cried, screamed that we'd betrayed her. Ethan tried to stop her from running into the woods, but she slipped near the cliff edge. I still remember the sound, the thud, the silence after. We both panicked. He said no one would believe it was an accident. So we lied. But Lila hadn't fallen all the way. Her body was still, her pulse faint, and I'd whispered, I'm sorry. Then Ethan pulled me away. We left her there, alive. The reckoning. Ethan was shaking now. She's showing you too, he gasped. She wants you to feel it. Lila's voice rippled through the trees. You left me to drown in my own blood. And now you'll join me. The ground trembled. A circle of red light pulsed beneath Ethan's feet, the same symbol I'd seen carved in his floor. Ethan, stop fighting. I shouted. If you let her in, she'll destroy you. He met my eyes, tears streaming. Then let her take me. Maybe that's the only way she'll rest. I lunged forward, grabbing his hands. No, she doesn't want peace, she wants you to suffer. For a heartbeat, all 3 of us existed in the same breath, Ethan's guilt, Lila's rage, my fear. And then, through him, she spoke softly. You still love him, don't you? I do, I whispered. then watch him fade. The light. The red glow around Ethan flared white. He screamed, and I saw Lila standing behind him, half shadow, half light. She looked at me, and for the first time since her death, I saw pain instead of fury. "He was supposed to choose me," she said. "You both could have saved me." "I know," I said. "And I'm sorry." I stepped into the circle, ignoring the burn under my feet. If guilt kept her here, maybe truth could set her free. "Lila," I whispered, "you didn't die alone. You died loved. Let that be enough." For a moment, nothing. Then, the wind shifted. Lila's form flickered, her eyes softening. Maybe, in another life. And with that, she vanished, like mist under sunlight. Aftermath. When the light faded, Ethan collapsed into my arms. He was breathing, weak but alive. The forest was silent again. Only the swing moved gently, back and forth, as if waving goodbye. We buried what was left of her, the necklace she'd worn that night, the one with the small red stone. I placed it in the earth and whispered, "Rest now." Ethan left town the next day. He said he couldn't stay in a place where ghosts still whispered our names. I stayed, photographing the ruins, the fog, the empty pier. Sometimes, in the reflection of my lens, I still see her smile. Not angry anymore, just watching. If you felt a chill while listening, that wasn't the wind. Some stories don't end when the last word fades. They linger, just like the ghost between us. Thank you for joining me on this bloody chapter. If you enjoyed tonight's tale, like, subscribe, and share, because every drop of fear keeps the darkness alive.